I'm going to butcher this name because I'm an ignorant American and I suck at pronouncing foreign names. However, Shan or Shan Koiman, or apparently as recently of this year renamed / respelled to Swan Salman, aka Karma, one of the new mutants. I can get into that later, but first introduced December 1980 in Marvel Team Up number 100. Yeah, hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feogrande on YouTube, and I'm here with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast. And as usual, I am not alone in this podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, my running mate, one of my best friends in the world, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who bears watching, Superjaz.
As nature intended. Excuse my voice a little bit, everybody. Seasonalities are a bitch.
Yeah.
And shout out to living, thankfully for 3 decades plus, and basically having this your whole life. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. As he said, I am Jazz, Superjaz, SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you, and the like. And as he said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where I always say we do not leave this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday. But this Wednesday is special because it takes place a few days after this other day that we will not disclose when we are recording, because speaking of how many decades this man has lived on this planet, I think it's somebody's birthday.
Facts. You said we're not going to disclose when we're recording?
Well, the exact date. I don't know if you want your birth date out there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say we're not going to say that we're recording on my birthday, but you just did. That's why I was like, the fuck? But no, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I get that. Yeah. But yes, we are recording before the day that it goes up. But yeah, it's my B-day. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
that's
man.
Right. Happy birthday. Do anything fun?
Well, it's so funny.
It'd be great if there was some kind of event that you could partake in on this date.
I'm hanging with my dad and my brother.
Okay.
For said thing.
Okay.
We're not gonna tell people the exact date, but then
true.
Yeah. I don't care.
Kind of realized that as well.
I don't care if you can read between the lines. I don't care that much.
But you do have an event and a party that you're planning on going to.
Yeah.
Cool.
But other than, said thing, and like all that shit, other than hanging with the two of them, my mom says she's gonna make me a cake.
Awesome.
And send it with my brother, because he's gonna be around her before we meet up. So give it to him to then give it to me, and the three of us can have it while we're together.
Okay.
And I was saying I gotta, jokingly, but not so jokingly, I gotta get big bro Ibn. If you're watching this, you know it's true, even though I love you. But I was like, I gotta get Ibn to chill out and realize it's my cake, because Ibn always does this kind of thing sometimes. Man, you're not eating it, man. Come on, eat the cake, bro. It's like, bruh, I don't care if I look at this cake and use that mug as a doorstop. This is my cake, goddammit. No. But no, my mom gonna make me a cake. I'm gonna hang out with my dad, my brother. Other than that, I'm not doing much. They surprised me because I'm off the day of my birthday today. They surprised me yesterday at the job, which I was not expecting. I worked a double, so I was in there all day, open and close. Out of nowhere, when business had died down, motherfuckers brought a damn cake in.
Damn.
I was not expecting that shit.
That's got
It says "Happy Birthday, Jazz," and they sang it to me, and I just looked there like this through my cleaning rag because I cook, like I've said, for people who may not know, and I threw my cleaning rag down. I was just like, it's one of those like you motherfuckers looks, like really.
Yeah.
So they did, they did that, and I mean, I got a rehearsal for a show I'm doing in a week.
Okay.
So I'm rehearsing for that, and yeah. Other than like rehearsal, not for my birthday, but it's nice to indulge in my passion on my b-day. Other than that, not really doing too much.
Okay.
You get all the like happy birthday hits on your timeline on your social medias and all that shit. I'm one of those people where I like to, no matter how many hits I get, like on my Facebook and whatever else on my social media of happy birthday, I like to give everyone a like, even if it's like 20, 50, 100, 2, 3. I try to go through at some point
and show the gratitude
like every single one, because I appreciate the fact that people say it.
Yeah, that's true. When I paid closer attention to Facebook, I definitely did the same.
Yeah, and I mainly pay more. I pay more attention than you do, probably just because of networking. Just because networking.
Yeah. So on a completely unrelated note, so we don't go too far talking about your birthday. You ain't putting too much of your business out there. Completely unrelated note. Coming up soon is the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, that's coming up soon, and it's coming up fast. They don't need to know how fast, but it's coming up fast.
That's fine.
And I believe we talked briefly about it. I think you said you were going Chiefs because Missouri.
Just because we don't have the Rams no more, so what's the closest team? What's the home state team? There you go.
Yeah, true. Well, I don't live in Missouri anymore. Though I was born, I said, well, I don't live in Missouri anymore. Though I was born in Kansas City.
You should be going for them more than my ass.
Well, listen, the Rams, before they left St. Louis, were one of the worst teams in the league. They had gone.
Then they left and became pretty good.
13 years without being even like 50% win-loss record. And I stuck by them. And they left. I didn't need, in my head, to go root for, like, I finally had a chance to move on and root for a good team for once. So the Chiefs, who at the time were not this, that happened like 3 years later. The Chiefs were still just kind of mediocre, don't really do anything, hadn't done anything since the first Super Bowl where they lost. So I'm like, well, I could go back to rooting for bad teams, or I can try to have fun watching football. And I wasn't gonna root for I wasn't gonna root for your typical teams, your Cowboys, Steelers, Patriots, or anything like that, or Packers. Not rooting for them. They got enough fans that ain't from their cities. I'm gonna go with this hip, young, fun team that was just in the Super Bowl that year. I'm gonna go with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Well, Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers, since me deciding to be a fan of that team, have been terrible. And it sucks. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are the new Patriots of the NFL and will be good for the next 20 years because that's just how the dice roll. So it'd be like that. I'm not allowed to root for good teams.
And you have this, Omari, Pete, you have this philosophy that you don't want to come off as a bandwagoner. So even though you from KC, but KC is kind of starting to get the juice right now. I know you be like, well, I don't want to root for them now because I can't just jump. It's like, who cares, man?
Oh yeah, that where's the dignity?
See, that's what I say. Who cares, dude? You from?
Where's not maybe dignity is the wrong word. The integrity.
No, I give you that. But it's not so much that you would be jumping on as a bandwagoner. You would be jumping on because, bitch, that's your motherfucking like birthplace. The fuck?
Yeah, but
I get
I
what you
always
mean.
claim St. Louis because I mean I only lived in St. Louis, Kansas City till I was like 3, maybe. Oh,
Well,
at
technically,
the
I was born
oldest.
in Gulfport, Mississippi, but I don't claim that. So
Yeah, yeah. But until I was like 2 or 3, and then I lived in St. Louis the rest of the time. But yeah, it was just one of those things. It's like, well, I already moved on, and here I am now. I couldn't root for them now anyway. No.
I don't know
I
enough
have
about
some.
football.
I have some friends that utterly despise that team, and that would be kind of a betrayal to root for the fucking Chiefs.
Why do they despise them?
Various reasons.
You
Various
don't want to get into it.
reasons. One I know just doesn't like good teams, regardless. Like whoever the new team that's winning all the time is, they just aren't gonna like them. I have another friend that doesn't like him because he's a because he's a Bears fan, and every once in a while, some stupid idiot will see Patrick Mahomes and do something and be like, "Oh, shouldn't the Bears? Didn't the Bears have a chance to draft him, and they drafted Mitch Trubisky?" And if you don't know, much like the Panthers, the Bears have been bad ever since a long time. So every time the Chiefs do anything good, there's always the chance that somebody brings that up, which has always been a stupid argument because, hell, the Panthers are just as dumb. We're just as dumb for not getting Patrick Mahomes. In fact, there were 8 other teams before the Bears, or sorry, before the Chiefs that could have gotten Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes wasn't even the can't miss option in that draft. Everyone then was talking about Deshaun Watson. But the Texans made that mistake. Now, Deshaun Watson, very good at throwing the football. Very bad off the field antics. And I'll leave it at that. So, but we were dumb. We got Christian McCaffrey. And yes, is Christian McCaffrey good? Yes, but we got nothing to show for it. He's on the 49ers. He almost took them to the Super Bowl this year. Panthers have just been terrible. We couldn't even get to the playoffs or get to the Super Bowl with a healthy Christian McCaffrey. Granted, he never stayed healthy a whole season. But that's neither here nor there. So you could also argue that we were stupid for drafting an injury-prone player. Bottom line is, we were just as stupid for not getting Mahomes. But you can say that about anything. The entire league is stupid because they didn't draft number 12 for 6 rounds.
That was before he was proven.
Well, yes, it's the draft.
Clearly. No, I'm saying clearly. So you know.
Yeah, but that's just how the draft works. I mean, he was kind of but it was his rookie season and he had no idea he would ever be playing. But Brock Purdy still did great as the last pick of the draft.
I'm just saying that's
mediocre was enough. That nigga almost made it to a Super Bowl, but the football gods were like, everyone on your team will be injured now against the Eagles, and so it happened.
I'm just saying, like, to say that not that you were saying it, you were saying it more as you could say this hypothetically, not you believe it, like your philosophy. But I'm just saying hindsight with stuff like that is always funny because that could be like saying that WWE was dumb for not already betting the house, so to speak, on Stone Cold back in the day, like or Rocky Maivia. You know, why didn't you just make him the Rock? Why they got to prove themselves? And, you know, shit like that. So it's just funny because it's like hindsight. You're like, well, duh, but you know, yeah. So nobody's proven, right?
Exactly. WCW had Terror Rising when they could have had Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Or Mean Mark Callis when they could have had the goddamn Undertaker. Damn.
Mark Callis, right?
Damn. Sucks to be them. Can you believe someone told Mark Calloway no one would ever pay to see him wrestle? That's what WCW said.
And then this man ended up having one of the most prolific, legendary ass motherfucking wrestling careers ever. Fucking WWE ever.
Yeah, one of the best characters in pro wrestling history.
Yeah, I know you always said that, and I would be hard pressed to disagree with you because he's one of the people that, except for when he went, biker for a little bit, and it was still kind of, but not, even though it wasn't really. But except for that, he basically was the whole character, like the same character his entire fucking career.
Yeah, and even the biker thing, it was still him at the end of the day.
The biker was a little more Mark Calloway than Undertaker, but it was still like Undertaker's.
Yeah, still the Undertaker, and you could still have the whole Ghost Rider angle to be like, yeah, an undead dude on a motorcycle. Who cares?
So he basically, like you said that I gotta agree with you with the character because, like I said, he basically played the same character, different variations here and there.
Yeah,
but he basically played the same type his entire career, and just added a little bit here, a little bit there, took a little off, put a little on, but made the same character work. Nobody else has done that. Jericho has not, and I was gonna say Jericho. Jericho's not played the same person his entire career. He switched it up.
In the same sense that fucking Mark Calloway was mean Mark Callis before he was Undertaker.
No, because suit and tie.
That's still Chris Jericho, quite literally.
Suit and tie. I'm talking low, using big words that you got to get at the thesaurus and dictionary out to know what I'm saying. Jericho, that was different.
It's the same dude. It's a different variation on the same dude, but it's the same dude.
Because I was gonna say Jericho, but I was like, because you definitely see shades of the Wizard in the Ayatollah of rock and roller. This is true. You definitely see shades of that. Is the List Jericho?
Yeah.
The same as
because he was technically referencing a long ass list he made in a promo in WCW, where he talked about the list of Jericho, where he had like 1,000 holds, and 90% of them were fucking armbar.
He said it was technically, I think it was supposed to be 1,001 because it was a spoof on Dean Malenko saying he was the man of 1,000 holds, and he was feuding with him at the time. So he said he was the man of 1,001, which then, like you said, just
90% of them were armbar. But no, he's always had that.
Because I was gonna say Jericho. You making a good point.
Comedic like lining and stuff in there. Even at his most serious, he would have some moments where he would say something and it's like funny for us, but he's taking it entirely seriously. But it's still the comedic aspect of Jericho, like that character sleeping through.
The only thing that would have made me not, which made me second guess Jericho like as much, was the suit and tie wearing Jericho. It was such a departure from every incarnation we've seen of the man.
I mean, Okay. The main reason I say that is because undead zombie man with this cowboy hat gimmick is, you could say, and you already said earlier, and we kind of argued that that he made it work. Was biker taker and normal Undertaker is a pretty big departure as well, but he made it work and just still being the same character, just going through a different phase and whatever he's doing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm not gonna strike you with lightning. I'm gonna hit you with a motorcycle.
Right. And then the difference with that, I agree with you with Jericho, like I said, because I was gonna say it, but you're making me come around. But the difference with that too, though, with the two of those guys was, like I say, they say that Under Biker was more like Mark Calloway, but I don't believe suit wearing Jericho is more like the real Jericho.
Right.
Yeah. I think the real Jericho is just like kind of like a chill rock and roll dad now. Motherfucker just a rock and roll dad. Like, yeah, that's funny as shit. Somebody else who's played the character their whole career would be Triple H. No, I'm joking, because you just said terrorizing and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, which is very fucking different than Triple H.
Well, you could also make the argument that anybody in the other company that wasn't WWE. I guess that's the other argument for Chris Jericho over Taker. Is Chris Jericho was Chris Jericho even in WCW.
Yeah. The entire fucking time.
And after WWE, still Chris Jericho. Flair's old ass. Flair's been the same man forever.
Ric Flair is fucking crazy, man. That was like, and I don't know too much about the man's personal life, although he seems like he fucking nuts in his personal life. But I don't know about I'm spitballing and joking. But what I always like, you look at the greats in wrestling, and you could always look and say what made them like distinctive. Like you look at Ric Flair. And when he would give promos, they were all captivating in their own right. But it's like Rick Flair's like, this motherfucker is nuts. he is a playboy. He's a playboy. He gets ladies. But then you start looking at it, it's like, this man is crazy. You start getting into that mode where you start giving them old promos where they used to look right down the camera. And it was like, the way he started talking. Right. It's almost like he would be that dude that you walk by on the corner and you would cross the street. Even though you saw him a block ahead, you're like, okay, I'm going to cross the street now.
Especially if he's just, woo, walking down the street. I'm like, I don't know if this man's a hole right now. I'm going to just go over here.
Spit started forming in the corner of his mouth.
Yeah,
fucking start slurring his words slightly and shit.
I'm not gonna mess with this dude's vibe. Clearly, he's in a mood right now, and I ain't want him to take anything out of me. Woo! Yes, nature boy.
That is true. It'd be funny if he got that shit from watching fucking like crazy people on the street. Because I know good and goddamn well, I don't care if it's 10 at night or 10 in the morning. If I'm walking down the street and like you said, motherfucker got that look in his eyes and I hear, whoa, you know, I don't have to go this way all of a sudden.
He got it from being coked up as shit in the 80s, like 80% of them. Fucking Randy. As much as we love Randy Savage, that nigga was on coke.
Man. Randy Savage, and I mean, rest in peace to both of them, Randy Savage and DMX. But those are two people who you hear them do their delivery for whatever their thing was, and it worked. And then you hear them talk, and you're like, y'all really talk like that? Holy shit! Because Randy Savage, when he do his promos, dude. With his very distinctive cadence. And he was talking, and he'd be in interviews, hey, how's it going? It's like, Randy,
how's it going?
Nobody's around. And then DMX, he'd be like, well, I'm DMX. But he would talk, and he'd be like, so I just decided to get some water for the podcast today. It's like, y'all really talk like that. Like, the fuck?
The red-nosed reindeer. Come on.
Hey, that shit was hard. I've heard DMX's Rudolph. That shit was hard.
You know Dasher and Prancer and Dancer and Vixen.
What made it so good?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say what made his Rudolph so good was the thing that made a lot of DMX's shit so good.
The ad-libs?
Well, I know. I was going to say he had a lot of soul in the shit.
Yeah.
You could just feel it. It's like this motherfucker took Rudolph and made you feel for that reindeer. God damn it. What you going to say, though?
The tweet you and Ibn have been commenting on for the past few days or so about who has the most unique voices in rap.
Yeah.
DMX is, I'd say, one of them. Because you know a DMX when you hear him. Only other person you could probably get him confused with is Ja Rule, but still not really.
Yeah, you're not going to. I know why you said that, but no.
That's what, but you get my point.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah,
not really, but that's
yeah.
the only other person that had that same kind of raspiness to it. But I could still tell them apart. Mystical, obviously. I think someone mentioned mystical. No,
Right.
you know mystical when you hear it.
Yeah,
Dangerous.
Ibn said mystical, and he said mystical, and then he said some new dude that I forgot who he said.
I know he said
I
busy bone at one point.
Yeah, Busy Bone. I said who the fuck did I say? I think I said ODB because I mean, come on, nobody will probably ever rap like ODB. ODB, like this dude that I watched that talks about rap and shit. He was talking about Wu-Tang Clan, and he said it so he said it the best because all Wu-Tang had bars, so that's not a question. But he said ODB sound like some random dude up the street that just wandered into the studio and just started rapping, and he does uh, and then Danny Brown. I don't know if you know Danny Brown, um,
Chris's
more
cousin.
underground, huh?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. But he's more of a underground rapper. But he got such a high pitched voice, and it's like, I was like, the fuck is this shit? So yeah, he had an album that came out a few years ago called Atrocity Exhibition that a lot of people said was like an amazing fucking album from start to finish. I haven't heard yet, but his voice so high pitched and weird. And I almost said JID. I know you probably don't know who that is, but I almost said JID, who's a new rapper who's in J. Cole's camp, Dreamville.
Uh,
I almost said him because there's a difference between who's got the best voice and who's got the most unique voice.
also
And I
true.
wouldn't necessarily say people have the best, for me at least,
Oh yeah,
but
no. I was
but
just
but
talking unique
unique,
voices. I was just talking
unique.
unique voices. Like you hear them and you're like, oh hey, it's that person.
Yeah, I would say unique would be ODB and Danny Brown, and Busy Bone was definitely a good one. A lot of people were saying Lil Wayne. I wouldn't necessarily say Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne does have a fucking unique ass voice with that fucking "Where's that?"
I
Yeah.
don't do nothing about. What was it? Cat Williams said, "Sound like he crying in every song." I don't do nothing about. The flag color wall. Go get your money, little double bag, boy.
Right. I always said that I believe that the best vocal tone in rap was Tupac.
Tupac.
Something about Tupac. Tupac had a way of he had like a deep raspy voice that he commanded, and he had a way of knowing how to stress syllables and words. When you was a black queen mama, like he knew when to stress the shit. And he was like that one song where he was like, "Do we hate our women?" Like he knew to get off the beat real quick to make the word hit. So Tupac had the best vocal tone. Guru from Gangstar.
True.
If you know who that is. Okay, DJ Premier and Guru, and then Tone Loc. I think Tone Loc. Tone Loc fucking that was just his talking voice. Tone Loc really had a fucking deep, like fucking talking voice. But for me, I think those are the three best. Maybe I just like deep, raspy voices. I don't know, but
I can't
look,
see why.
I know, I knew that fucking the joke was there to be made, but no, like I think those are the three best, and I think that
Well, I don't like high pitched nasally voices, so that doesn't mean just because you got that voice, something that you like.
you don't got no high pitched nasally
Yes,
voice.
I do. I've heard myself.
Well, okay, right there. What the fuck? But if you
I've
were to
heard
say,
myself. I'm not
if you were
over
to say,
here deep. I'm definitely not a deep and raspy voice type.
if you were to say, "Hi, my name is blah 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 blah,"
They'd be
you
like
know,
Slim Shady.
Sublime Magnificent. Now, old school Eminem had a high pitched nasally voice, which is funny
I know
because
that's why I
real
said it
Eminem,
like that.
real Eminem doesn't, right? Um, but no, I think those were for me. Those are my three best voices in rap. Well, who would you say is like your best like
That
voice? Not best lyricist, not best rapper, not most unique voice. Best flow, just best voice, best vocal tone for you.
Okay, so I will give you the Tupac one. He is very good at that.
He just knew how to hit the words, man.
Yeah, so we're talking like delivery.
Yes. Not talking anything else, not talking skill or nothing like that. Just
Delivery.
yeah, like vocal tone, delivery type shit. Yeah.
The objective best, I have not listened to enough old school rap to give you the answers for those. Because it's probably some people underground back in the 80s or at least less mainstream than the shit I listened to.
Well, I
That
said
said,
Guru and Tone Loc, and most people probably wouldn't even think of them. So
yeah, like myself. So I'm not saying that it's just because I haven't listened to a lot of Guru and Tone Loc. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
right.
knowing that I am a casual rap fan at the most, I don't know. I think I mentioned some of my favorite voices growing up. I used to love Mystical whenever he came on. I loved his delivery about things.
Man,
He
yeah,
was
no,
fucking hilarious.
yes, yes.
Danger! I still just walk around randomly yelling danger to this day.
What made Mystical so good sometimes, and I remember this back in the day too, when I was like early teen, and my dad being an old school musician, always loved he just always loved the music, or at least kept up with it to an extent, even as like, you know, an older man and shit. And we was listening to like probably Danger, and he was talking about he's like I like this because he said Mystical had a way of rapping where it was almost like he wasn't rapping, like he was just talking to you. He's like, no, no, just keep on doing what you're doing. Like, almost like he just talking to your ass and shit. Like, no, you do that real quick. I'm gonna be over here. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's okay. Stay in line, no.
Right.
Say it.
You made that shit work, man.
Say it. He's so angry. And then
Right.
Get on, fly.
Like he would say it not quite angry, but he would say it like if y'all don't do this, I'm almost at that point, goddamn it.
Definitely
So if y'all don't
aggressive
sing,
at the least.
if y'all don't sing, somebody might get their ass.
That's just what it is. Been so long. Sing it.
Like they being forced to do it against their will and shit. Like, okay.
I can't remember taking my hand. To make me leave with my foot in your ass. Be cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like he just some old head trying to kick game to the younger generation and shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you one time, young blood.
Watch yourself. Fuck around and get beside yourself. I know. Go ahead, though. I know. So no, Mystical I always found hilarious. Unfortunately,
Too bad Mystical's
his real life
done what
choices. His real life choices were not the best.
We
to
won't,
say
we
the
won't,
least.
We won't harp on that right
Put
now.
it lightly.
Right? But yeah, no, Mystical definitely is up there.
Let's see. Snoop, I've always liked his style and flow.
Somebody else, when I put that on my Facebook a bit ago about who my favorite voices were, somebody said Snoop because Snoop, he always had that laid back.
Yeah, and he's got that Snoop sound to him. It's like
yeah. Snoop Dale Jabba J, right? Yeah.
It's like whatever he's saying gets at least like a half point, or if not another point higher, just because it's Snoop delivering it. So you hear that voice, you're like, oh, this is about to be good, even if it's trash. Because I have heard some trash bars from him every once in a while. Usually, it's like something someone pays him for, like a cameo, and he's just like, all right, let me do a quick rap for you. And it's like, Snoop, I understand. You probably get a lot of these requests, but you didn't try on this one.
Yeah.
But it's still at least somewhat cool because it's the idea that Snoop is rapping a song, you know, specifically for you. So you're still gonna pay the money to get the cameo.
Man, I don't care if I had a song and I got Snoop on it. I wouldn't care if Snoop went on there and said ABC 1 2 3 one fish two fish
Exactly. It's like I said,
because
regardless of
it's
what he
fucking
says.
Snoop, right?
Exactly. Regardless of what he says, it's going to be ever that much cooler because it's coming from Snoop.
And then knowing, like you said, knowing Snoop and the fact that he's an OG in the game and his delivery being so cold, I could probably rap my heart out and he would get on that motherfucker and say ABC 1 2 3 one fish two fish reference and fucking make his verse somehow sound better than mine.
ABC 1 2 3
And everybody be
SN
like,
double
hey.
O P D O double G.
Everybody be like, hey, you got Snoop on your shit. Say ABC. What meanwhile I'm over here fucking rapping the most like complex ass shit. And everybody like, man, Snoop killed it when he said that shit on your shit, bruh.
Hey y'all, snippity diggity. The fucking robot chicken thing. And it really gets crazy when Snoop Dogg hits the house. Hey everybody, snippity diggity. And then would explode. They did it in like 3 different skits where that was the line. Just the fun really goes crazy when Snoop Dogg hits the scene.
Stupid fucking robot chicken. You got anybody any more
well, those were the 3 that I gave you. Tupac, Mystical, Snoop. Modern day,
okay.
I like, obviously the stuff I've heard from Kendrick has been good.
Kendrick has a distinctive voice. Kendrick's voice, admittedly, I was being ignorant and I pulled my head out of my ass, but initially I could not get past Kendrick's voice because it was so distinctive and like I am Kendrick Lamar,
Sit
aka
down.
Denver's to me just a guy. I couldn't get past that. I finally said, okay, bro, actually just check this shit out. Now I like his voice. I was tripping, and then it is one of those believe the hype. He is that good. So
Why you always sipping, only 2 and 3 shots? I said you had to look it up a notch. Yeah, so he's cool. Obviously you respect that. I've not heard a lot of J. Cole. I've heard more J. Cole skits from RDC than I've heard J. Cole songs.
oh yeah, Jermaine Cole.
And I thought it was cool that they got to meet him and I think even be in one of his music videos or something.
They were in a video in his video, J. Cole featuring Boss, who is also part of Dreamville with J. Cole's camp. But it was a song, The Jackie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and basically, yeah, they were like crossing the street, and then J. Cole like almost hit him, and they're like, "Man, what the hell?" And then J. Cole was like, "I'm sorry, y'all," and then like let him hop in the ride, and then it was cool as shit. I was like, "Damn, man!" So as we've said on several podcasts, shout out to RDC, motherfuckers then hustled so much that they able to actually be in a video with one of their idols. That's cool as shit.
They've met a few of the people that they've done those videos about. Like I said, I think a previous one, they met LeBron.
I was those, yeah, they met LeBron.
And even he goes quoting they lines about
he
him.
was quoting they skits, right?
He's like, I'm 36. That was my shit. Which always makes me wonder now, just because they keep making skits. It's like now they're making these and they have to know the basketball players are going to see it, including the ones that they're shitting on in said video. Because they're not always talking about how great each of these players are. And I'm sure there are players who are like, man, why are they always doing this to me in these videos?
Shit. You want to talk about the basketball players? J. Cole has seen their shit too, because before they got in the video with J. Cole, the main guy, Mark, had he was like over the moon because J. Cole had like retweeted or screenshotted something from them, like one of the videos, and said, "Man, I really love y'all," which means that he was watching their videos and shit because they were talking about him. So, like, no, a lot of celebrities watching their shit, which is why when they made a joke about Eminem, and then in the description box they were like, "Look, y'all, Eminem is a legend. This is a joke. Don't take this serious."
Yeah, that's right. Because he just sometimes he just doesn't even try anymore or something like that. Was the point of this skit?
How they did a video where they were talking about how getting a feature from Eminem now, and it was a fucking whack ass verse. Where the verse was like Mac the back the back back and the back the back 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 back
the back the back the back the back the back the back the back the back,
and then And it was funny because the dude, it was like, man, we got so the dude was like hype, and he was like, all right, now we got Eminem's like verse on your shit. He's like, okay. And he started playing that shit. The dude was just looking
It was Mark,
like he
wasn't
didn't want
it?
to say it was ass,
It
but
was
he was like,
Mark. Just
and then that's why they put in the disclaimer, look, Eminem was a legend. This is a joke. He's a man, blah, blah, blah. Because they know in some way Eminem, and then Eminem has proven if you listen to his recent shit and look at the few times he pops out for interviews, Eminem stays abreast of what's happening in the game too. So it's a good chance Eminem probably said that shit.
this next song is just gonna start talking about RDC, like, oh no, he's in this track to RDC. Like, oh, they want to talk about the back, but the whack, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Shit with Chris D'Elia, the underground comedian that ended up getting more fame because he went viral, making like the joke about Eminem. When his shit went viral, Eminem did a feature on Logic shit in the song Homicide, did a feature, and then at the end spoofed Chris D'Elia's video making fun of him. So Eminem just staying current because it was like Chris D'Elia was making them jokes that you may have seen the video where he was like, look what I'm planning, and cannon, and the cannon, and the cannon, and the fanning, and the Babkin. The Babkin got too many napkins, and capkins. Yeah, with that shit. And then Eminem like spoofed that shit. Eminem has always been self-aware and stayed current though. So,
and he set the ground for himself early on with the self-making fun of or the self-deprecating part of his rap that a lot of Slim Shady had.
With what my name is being like initially?
Well, just a lot of his early songs. While he would diss other people, he would also say a lot of fucked up shit about himself.
He basically like set the grounds for 8 Mile before he did the last fucking rap in 8 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
When he fucking, said all that crazy shit about how like I'm this and I'm that and I'm that and I'm this, right? If you look at it too, the only album, don't get me wrong, I haven't really heard Relapse, I haven't really heard Recovery. But the only album of the ones I've heard of him where he wasn't some level of self-aware in was the first one. Because that was before he blew up.
Oh, okay, fair.
He did Slim Shady LP. He got a whole lot of fame. Marshall Mathers LP is basically talk about, which a lot of people talk about, I love fame, but damn, it sucks. And then from there, so
yeah, there was a lot of that in Marshall Mathers because that's where you had like Way I Am and all that shit.
Man, yeah, which is some of the best rhyme scheme like ever put to wax.
I said back with this back with this back with the back with this that.
It's so funny. It's so funny. I don't know if the greats knew what they were doing. Like if they knew the exact name of what they were doing when they did it. But if you look it up, because I've looked that up, whatever, there's like a specific fucking rhyming name of how he did that shit when he did it in The Way I Am. Because I looked it up, rapping, I looked it up to kind of study it. And I was like, there's like an actual specific like name or whatever to like the way he rhymed and shit. I'm like, did Eminem know he was doing this or did he just do it because it sounded cool?
So where he's like, I said back with this pack of zigzags and this bag of this weed.
Syllables.
Back with this bag of zigzags and this bag. Oh, just the timing.
I
said back with this pack.
He's rhyming every 3 syllables.
Oh, I just thought he was just going with the fucking music.
Well, no, he's rhyming on beat, but instead of just rhyming like, hey, I'm gonna do something with this blah, and then no, every 3 he's on beat, but every
3 syllables rhymes.
I sit back with this pack of zigzags and this bag of this weed that gives me the shit needed to be the most me nest MC on this earth, and since birth I've been cursed with this curse to just blurt. This berserk and bizarre shit that helps, and it's like the fact that he kept that going is like, as you would say, godlike, fucking crazy. Shit is like insane, yeah. and then to do that and make it make sense. So instead of just doing it for the sake of doing it. So yeah, that's like, that's why I was like, did Eminem know what he was doing when he did this? Because I looked it up just to see, and there's like a whole thing that I saw somewhere where they were like breaking down. Like, did he know that like the exact name, or did he just do this shit because he knew it was hard?
You probably knew it was hard, and the beat does lend itself to those
It very much
three
does.
things because of the arpeggio. Yeah.
And like Nas, when Nas was doing his shit, and now Nas's shit has been like taught in fucking colleges. And I'm like, did Nas know that he was doing college level writing when he wrote Illmatic? Or was he just writing the shit because he was like, yo, this shit hard, this shit cool? It's like, did Nas know that, like, because Nas was doing some wild, crazy, fucking complex ass shit too.
Oh, yeah, no, Nas is one of those people that, according to which song, I got a list. I listen to this. It goes Reggie and Too Big to
Till I Collapse.
Till I Collapse, yeah.
On Eminem's show.
And then me.
It goes Reggie,
So
Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada, Corrupt, Nas,
and then me. So yeah, so he put Nas above him, at least in a song.
And then Reggie is Reggie Noble, who's the real name of Redman.
Okay.
So Redman was his number one, yeah. Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada, Corrupt, Nas, then me. Yeah.
So he had Redman as his top. Redman was another person where you knew it was him when he was rapping.
Yeah. Redman, that's the thing when I started really kind of studying rap and then trying to find my voice with the shit, was you found out you're gonna sound like your influences to an extent just because when you start, rapping or making music or doing anything, but then you have to find your own voice with it. And I found out that I was like, damn, everybody who's really good, they rap in a certain way, but they sound like themselves. And that's what makes you good. Even Jay-Z doesn't super stand out, but you know it's Jay-Z. So that's what makes everybody good. Is like you sound like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why now I don't mean to sound, like old man, get off my lawn type shit, because I do respect music whether I like it or not. But that's why now I think that Cole and Kendrick stand out above the rest so much, is because it's Cole and Kendrick more than the average level of music right now. Everybody's sounding so similar. I say back in the 90s, back in the 2000s, everybody didn't sound the same. And I feel like the thing with music is it sounds similar. And that's not me trying to shit on it. Maybe I'm indirectly hating, but everybody, yeah, because like we said, DMX didn't sound like Mystical, didn't sound like Eminem, didn't sound like Tupac, didn't sound like Biggie, didn't sound like Nas, didn't sound like Ludacris, keep going, didn't sound like Guru, didn't, like, everybody did. Wu-Tang Clan was 9 motherfuckers and they all sounded different. So, yeah. But,
yeah. There's another guy. Lil Jon on the track when he comes. We got a lot of fuck news in the club tonight.
Nobody is gonna ever say that Lil Jon was a lyrical genius, but I don't think Lil Jon was trying to be a lyrical genius.
To be. Not everybody needs to be a fucking encyclopedia. Just gotta be entertaining. This is the entertainment business. And Lil Jon and the East Side Boys and the whole Crunk crew, they knew what the fuck they were about. About having a good fucking time. That's about it.
Facts.
Here's some music to have a good fucking time too. Laugh, drink, just fuck around.
Start a fight.
Start a fight. Do whatever the fuck you want. But we ain't sitting still.
It's like I may have joked about it on another episode, but I always joked that the crunk era, the whole point of the crunk era was trying to get niggas' asses whooped. Like they were just trying to. It's like, I'm never scared.
Yeah. I'm outside of the club and they think I'm a punk.
Like, you trying to start a fight, bro? Fucking knuck if you buck. Come on. Like, I know your type. You're quick to back down. Bitch. That's calling me a bitch. You're telling me I'm the type that is quick to back. You call me a bitch.
Fucking pussy ass nigga. Quick to back down. Like,
come on,
like it's just insulting you the whole time in the chorus. It is just they're out here ready to fucking either, like I said, they're either ready to fight, fucking drink or something, but they ain't sitting still minding their business. That ain't what the Crunk people's about. They ain't here to do deep thought. They ain't here to be like, hey, my brother, let's talk about the systematic put downs of us by society. It's like, nah, nigga, you here, I'm here. We either fighting or we having some fun. What we doing? We fighting? Let's fucking fight. I ain't scared of you, nigga. I ain't scared of shit.
And then the way you talking, right? We gonna fight, and then I'm gonna find somebody and I'm gonna fuck.
Yeah, I'm fighting and fucking tonight.
Yo, make sure you on the right side of both of them. You better pick one, and you better choose wisely.
Oh man, but no. Yeah, did you ever hear the fucking Lil Jon Kool-Aid Man song?
No, what the fuck?
Yeah, like 2 years ago. Christmas song by Kool-Aid, sponsored by Kool-Aid. Lil Jon made a song, and it's about the most Lil Jon Christmas song. It was. Yeah, first it starts with like the yeah, all I really want for Christmas. It's like there's some song about all I really want for Christmas is everything on my list, baby. It's like the chorus. It's everything on my list, baby. But you got like a fucking dancing Santa, fucking Kool-Aid Man coming in here just saying oh yeah like 50 times, even at one point saying oh yeah to the tune of Jingle Bells. But yeah, just having a party on Christmas Eve, and I got a whole lot of Christmas glee. I'll show you after we get done with this. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh, Lil Jon. It's about the most Lil Jon. If you were to say, I'm making a Lil Jon Christmas song, it is what it was. This.
That's hilarious. What was I gonna say? Speaking of Lil Jon, this is a fun fact a lot of people do not know. So the Lil Jon turned down for what? What? That song, right?
Yeah.
And that wild, crazy ass video. You seen the video?
Yeah.
Where everything's going crazy and the dude falls to the roof and shit. That video, if I'm not mistaken,
directed by the Everything Everywhere All at Once people.
You already knew it.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it in our episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen on Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Anyway, like I was saying, unlike the other podcast, I have no problem saying that said other podcast, unlike some people.
What did I do?
No, you know what I'm talking to. All jokes. But yeah, This Guy Hasn't Seen is a dope ass podcast. But I mean, you know me, I love movies, I love music. If you do a podcast, talk about either one of those and y'all actually have interesting conversations about them, you got your boy hooked. There you go.
Fair enough. Yeah, but yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I love that movie, dude.
It's a good movie.
Which is so funny because one of my good friends, the dude who actually helps me to when he collaborate on my music videos, I knew when I was talking about it, me and some of my friends were hanging out, I was like, you didn't like it, did you? Only motherfucker I know that didn't like it. But what's funny is I knew he wasn't gonna like it. I knew it. He was like, I thought he tried to be something. So I forgot what he said. I was like, I knew your ass was gonna like that shit.
Yeah. Oh, he's one of those that thinks every movie needs to be the most original movie ever. If it's anything like something else, then it's just was trying hard to be that.
That's what he said. He said that he thought that it was trying to be I could be wrong, but I believe he said I thought that it was trying to be Marvel or some shit. And I'm like, it just happened to come around the same time as Multiverse of Madness. And I was like, you could be
It's a
right.
better multiverse movie than Multiverse of Madness. For one,
A
it
lot of
actually
people,
deals with
a lot of people say that.
multiverses.
A lot of people fucking say that, right?
And I say this as someone who liked, well, to an extent, liked Multiverse of Madness.
Mm.
I can only like a movie starring Wanda so much. Nothing against Elizabeth Olsen. I just don't like her character.
Well, I told you that movie showed me where Marvel's head is going to be going forward. And the one thing I didn't like about the movie had nothing to do with the run of the movie. I just didn't like the fact that Marvel. I said this too on a previous episode. I know I did, but I was like, Marvel, I'm already watching all your fucking movies to know what's happening. I got to watch all your TV shows too.
Yeah.
That kind of pissed me off.
As a,
Not like I was gonna say not pissed me off, angry, but it was kind of come on, man.
as someone who at one point read some comics, I will tell you, they're trying to make the movie verse pretty much like the comics, where technically the big stories are all here, but if you want all the details, you got to read these side series as well.
Because Multiverse of Madness, you would not have understood what was going on if you did not watch WandaVision. You would not have. And I could comfortably say that because I saw it with my friend who watched all of WandaVision, and I had only seen like maybe 2 episodes. And if he hadn't told me a little bit here and there, certain stuff, I would have been like, why is she suddenly evil? When did that happen?
Oh, when she was Wanda Maximoff.
But she wasn't evil the last time we saw her in the movies.
It's okay. She wasn't evil in this one. What are you talking about? She was a mother.
She wasn't evil, okay.
Yeah, she wasn't evil. She was a mother. Doctor Strange gets to break the rules and be a hero. She can't break the rules and be a hero? That's not fair.
And John Kramer, aka Jigsaw, is not a murderer. He just puts people in situations where hopefully they don't die. Okay.
Well, I mean, he gives them a way out.
After putting them up.
Look, you just gotta accept the fact that Marvel will always want you to feel sorry for Wanda Maximoff. You don't have to feel sorry for her. Just accept the fact that Marvel will always try to make Wanda the victim, regardless of what she does. At the end of the day, she's the one who's really hurting all of this. Don't you feel sad for Wanda Maximoff?
Well,
she kidnapped a whole town and brainwashed them into performing a TV show where she could pretend that the robot she was fucking knocked her up and she had 2 kids. And that the robot didn't die in front of her. She kidnapped a whole city so she could pretend this.
That's what the
and then had to give it up so those people can go back to their normal life. They literal line from the show, they will never know what she sacrificed.
Spoiler alert, I'm joking.
I'm not a fan of Wanda Maximoff. Again, Elizabeth Olsen, great actress, whatever. I am not a fan of Wanda Maximoff.
Well, hopefully you are a fan of us, and if you would like to be a fan, a friend, family, what have you, outside of whatever we want, then you can go ahead and follow us on our respective socials. If you would like to follow yours truly, as I spoke of a little bit here and there throughout this episode, I am a rapper. I get my rap on from time to time. So anywhere you stream your music, you can go ahead and look me up under the name Superjaz. That would be spelled Superjaz. Like I said, anywhere you stream your music. I dropped more than a year, a little over a year ago now. I dropped my solo debut album back in 2021, My Secret Identity. So you can go ahead and look that up. You may have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, since I'm not that famous yet. Also, you can go ahead and look me up under Twitter under the name Superjaz2. So that's Superjaz number 2. And of course, you can go ahead and find and follow me on Instagram under the name Forever Superjaz. The word forever is spelled correctly. Where can they find you, man?
Well, you guys know, first of all, you can find me here every week, every Wednesday on the Whatever We Want podcast. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube under the channel feogrande. That is Feo Grande. That's where I have that other podcast I mentioned earlier. This guy hasn't seen with friend of the show and friend of myself, Bill Smith. And also, that's right. And this week, I believe we have another guest on the show. That's not Superjaz. I know, right? Our first non-Superjaz guest on the show.
The dopeness.
Yeah. So now both shows have the same number of guest appearances. Or different guests. Not guest appearances, but different guests. Same number of special guests. I don't know why I'm competing with the two shows over random things. However, watch it, damn it. It's great. It's fun. You can watch this too. Anyway, I'm also on Twitter and Twitch on the channel Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by. I recently have gotten back into playing Guilty Gear and stuff on that channel. And it's been fun. Naturally. Love me some Guilty Gear. Love me some fighting games. Love me some games in general. Also, lately, I've been focusing less on the fighting games. Like, I've been playing them, but I'll be like singing along with songs and stuff. It's just a good time is what I'm trying to have on my stream these days. Not so much a competitive time, but a good time. Anyway, that's where you can find me. I went on a tangent there.
Word. That's all good. That's all
Sine,
good.
hypotenuse, cosine, tangent.
Well, whether it be about math, well, that was funny at one time. I said, whether it be about football, whether it be about math, whether it be about the Super Bowl, whether it be about another rotation around the sun for yours truly or you, for that matter, whether it be about Marvel, and we covered a gambit of shit today, whether it be about rap music, shit, whether it be about movies, everything everywhere all at once in particular or otherwise. What are we gonna talk about next time?
Well, much like today, whatever we want.
Shout out to an episode where we actually lived up to the title. We haven't had a jump from topic to topic type of episode in a minute this cohesive and good.
Jazz, we live up to the title every episode because the title's whatever we want.
You know what the fuck I mean. Fuck you. What we're trying to be
If
like,
all
yeah.
I want to talk about, if all we want to talk about is one thing, we're gonna talk about that one thing. That's the name of the show. It's whatever we want. We're not talking about WWE all the time. We're talking about WWW. That's right. 100 episodes later, I'm still saying the same lines that I said in episode 1. I'll say what I want because that's what the show is. Whatever we want. Say bye, Chopper. Yeah.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Adiosness.